Step 1, don't be dumb like me and glue your eyeballs shut. Use the damn mirror.
Not your front cam.
Step 2, pray. These tweezers do not got my back today. Hey, hold up. PERD. That's 1 cluster down, 39 to go. I'm basically a licensed esthetician now. Y'all see the vision? I look like a tired fairy. A sexy one.
Y'all all look at me. I did that. Don't ask me to do them again. I was fighting for my damn life, but I did that.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Bakakwadash. And I also want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out there hearing this word in truth and in sincerity. Okay, I'm the brother Awalam from the GMS West Palm Beach camp, back with another lesson. This one being, not being ignorant of his devices, man. All right, and that's concerning, the AI that we see emerging, in these times. As artificial intelligence, is taking over, the internet. You know what I'm saying? And now and I've seen people on the internet say this. They've said that it's getting scary because now it's getting harder, all right, to differentiate, all right, AI in real life, and I saw a post too with a shot from AI and a shot from a human. Like they did different shots, like a cheetah, and then by a human, because you got photographers, and then a shot, then a AI made video. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it took me time to make the difference between, which one was AI and which one was human, So that just goes to show you how, a lot of people, that don't have the spirit, they're going to be deceived by a lot of these pseudo miracles that Esau Edom got coming, man. Our AI in itself is a deception, but how much more, when the time of persecution come, the time of the great deception come, and this is technology that's been all right in his control for a minute now. They're just now releasing it into the public, man. This ain't nothing new. Hey, I've heard, the military got, technology 50 years ahead, all right, of the U.S. citizens, man. So the shit that they're releasing right now ain't nothing, man. Like the iPhones. The iPhones, right, next year they're coming out with the iPhone 17. Man, the iPhone 17 been around. They're just now getting ready to release it. These iPhones, they've been around. The technology been here. They're just now releasing it to the public. So to you people out there, it's new. All right, but to them, it's already been in their possession. Okay, but this is 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, "Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." Okay, and Satan is talking about the adversary, which is Esau Edom. Because the Edomites is Satan's. The Edomites are Satan's vessels here, on planet Earth. Satan worked through the Edomites. And pretty much we're not ignorant of his devices, man. One thing I noticed too is that, a lot of this AI, is being used, to emulate Jake. All right, that's what Esau want to do. He wants to control the nation of Israel, man. All right, yeah, I've seen, AI where, Esau Edom, they've had so-called white people, in their AI videos, but a lot of these AIs that I've seen speaking has been Israelites. All right, because Esau wants to make his own world, where he controls the Israelites, where he's in control, And if you didn't know that this was AI, like if you didn't know that this was artificial intelligence, you would believe that it was real, man. All right, because the only reason you know that it's AI is because they typed in the prompt for them to say what they say. So imagine when that persecution happened, Esau Edom is gonna make it look like brothers are out there doing wicked shit, or brothers are saying wicked things, man. All right, they already I believe they're already using that AI, you know, to for for wicked purposes, man. And I saw a video a post the other day where, you know, a teenager killed himself because he was being blackmailed, or his and it was AI, it was made by AI though, but his face was put on, I think, a naked body. All right, and he was being blackmailed to send such amount of money, you know, or that's going to get released, and he killed himself. You know, that just goes to show you the harm that this technology, you know, could do. Okay, and you know, things have a righteous purpose. You know, AI could be used, you know, for a good thing, you know, but you know, the wicked in itself, you know, is using it for wickedness, man. Which artificial intelligence, you know, that's not natural, which is why it's called artificial intelligence. But it's not natural. All right, the intelligence, the wisdom that we need is from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's the true wisdom. You know, artificial intelligence, you know, that's wisdom on the left hand side, because like people are now relying on it, you know, for the everyday thing. You know, you wanna make your own business, use AI to do it. You know, you don't know what to eat, use AI and ask AI what you want to eat. People are really doing this shit, man. You know, and that's why a lot of these people, they're worshiping the image of the beast. All right, and they're gonna take that chip. All right, but we're not ignorant of this man's devices. You know, he's feeding you people. He's feeding you people little by little, so that when he brings it out, you're gonna fully be accustomed to it, to where it's not gonna be, you know, it's not gonna be a new thing to you. All right, let's go to 2 Thessalonians. Yeah, man, this thing is moving fast. You know, with this whole system being made technological, it's moving very fast, man. You know, before you even knew it, all right, you know, phones became a big thing, social media, you know, now artificial intelligence. You know, and I remember when artificial intelligence was just now, you know, artificial intelligence was just now being made to the public. It started with, you know, voice changers. I remember that. It started with voice changers, okay, and then deep fakes. Yep, then it started with deep fakes. I remember that. And when it started, it's locking for the rambling. When it started, it was like a wow thing. It was like, whoa, you know, you're able to put somebody's face on another person's body. But now, people just have access to that technology to where the average person can put somebody else's faces on another man's body, man. All right. But this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse I can start from 8 and get to the point. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and with the brightness of his coming." Okay? And that wicked is talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Right? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, all right, is revealing this man, all right, through his prophets. You see? And that's why Esau, Edom is being despised, you know, around the world. Like it says in Obadiah, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen and despised among men." Okay? Esau, Edom is being revealed by the spirit of the Lord's mouth, which is these prophecies being spoken through the prophets, man. You know? And that's why the small hat, all right, the Amalekites, you know, they're losing their power. They were able to run around the world calling themselves the JEWs, which they're not. Okay, but now that's being revealed, so now the deception is starting to wear off. Now the sword is coming into factor. Okay, it says verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Okay? And artificial intelligence, that's a lying wonder. Okay? Because, once again, they can make something on using artificial intelligence. You can't even tell the difference between real or fake. Okay? And that's why sometimes it's always good to, like, you know, fall back from social media a little bit, you know, and get a dose of reality, because, you know, too much time on that internet, man, you get accustomed to AI, and then it's gonna become part of your life. And I'm not saying, because brothers use ChatGPT and you know, artificial intelligence for different things. All right, but we're not under the illusion or deception of these people of the world, so we can use it for a righteous purpose. They'll use it to do things in this world, man. Okay, it says, I'm gonna read verse 9 again. It says, even him whose coming is after the working sign, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Okay, that's the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. No, one can just imagine the deception he's gonna come with, you know, dealing with the T attacks. You know, because best believe that's gonna happen. He's gonna stage a T attack. He's gonna have an AI terrorist. If you know what I'm saying. He's gonna have an artificial intelligence terrorist with a hijab on. You know he's gonna have the Israelites in there, because Esau's a demon. Okay, and he's been trying to link the Israelites to Islam for a minute. So he's gonna use AI to do these things, man. But these people, these retarded people, spiritual retarded people, cannot make the distinction between what's real and what's not. Which is why they're gonna be destroyed, man. Okay? It says, verse 10, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. You see? Let me read that again for the first part. And with all the deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, right? Because, you know, they're easily deceived. Okay? You got 2/3 of all people, you know, they're making a killing off of this AI thing, man. A living off of it. Alright? Because Jake is gonna worship. Jake is worshiping the image of the beast, man. And sometimes I'll drive around, I see Jake in Teslas, you know, see Jake in high-end cars. You know, and in my mind I'd be like, yeah, he must love it here. You know what I mean? Right? And Tesla probably got a nice house. And that's not me being jealous. That's not me hating. It's the truth. It's facts. You know, Jake driving in Teslas now, man. These are the Jakes that, you know, more than likely, more than likely, they might, you know, poke themselves, man. Get poked by Esau. You know? Now the Lord may have mercy on Jake. He may have mercy and put the spirit on him to be like, nah, and cast everything away. You know, but our people, they're so acclimated here in Babylon the Great to the point where now, you know, the way I see it through the spirit is that it'll be kind of difficult for them to let go of the things that they have. You know, now the Lord can do anything. He can have them switch up, you know, in the last second, be like, nah, I'm not taking it, and have mercy on them. You know, because at the end of the day, it's all about the elect. You know, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is only dealing with the elect. Okay? It says, verse 11, and for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. You see, so the Lord is going to send them a strong delusion. They're going to believe these lies, you know, that Esau Edom is coming with. All right, all you gotta do is write the right prompt, you know. And I believe through the Spirit that these are test runs for the artificial intelligence. Like he's released it into the public, you know, to see how people will react to it, you know. And by the way it's looking, he's getting the reaction he wanted. You know, people are not coming against it. People are not saying, we don't want this. No, they're saying this is cool. You know, they're saying like they're saying that, you know, we're in the future now. You know, and these things have always been, you know, programmed into them and conditioned for them to do. All right, it's to wanna elevate, you know, this society into a new world. And when you look at it, places like Japan, you know, and China, you know, they're far past America concerning technology, man. You know, so if you just want to live in a more technological, you know, just hypothetically speaking, if you want to live in a more technological society, you should just move to Japan. You know, because you're still gonna get, you know, that racism over there, but you know, why not get it and still live in a better society, so to speak? Because here in America, racism still exists, and you're living in a shithole country. Okay, this place is going down bad, man. You know, people saying that, you know, you know, we got it good here in America or whatever. They don't understand what's really going on. You know, they don't really understand. Like they're only they're only in their bubble. Like they're really only in their bubble. They don't see what's going on in these different cities, what's happening in these different states, man. People are dying every day, whether it be by drugs, whether it be they're getting killed. People are dying every day, man. So I can't see how somebody would say that, you know, I can't see how somebody would say that America is the best country. Now, militarily, yeah, America is the best country. And I don't mean to rant, you know. Military, America is the best country. But that's probably all they got on most of these places in the world. Whereas society's norms is declining. You know, people in general here in America is declining. The houses, inflation is killing people. All right, and we can get that in Isaiah 47, where it talks about come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Okay, this place is declining. You know, and the only thing keeping it up is the military. And even that is not going to hold up against the Lord, because the Lord's coming back to take it all away. Isaiah 47. So the Lord's coming to take everything, you know, Esau got. All right. Isaiah 47 verse 1, it says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Salakia. Sit on the ground, there is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans, thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." You see? Babylon is talking about America. This place is no more being called tender and delicate. Because when you go back to the past, I want to say the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, America, you know, was the place to be. It was the place to be, man. You know, not for us, you know, the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. Because during America's height, we were suffering. We were being persecuted. But during America's height, you had the Jim Crow era. You had like, Jake was suffering, man. So it wasn't really heaven for us. It was heaven for the so-called white nation. All right? But now all of this is taken away. But now everybody is suffering. Now we're all human. You see? But the point of me getting the scripture is to say that, you know, America is on its way out, man. It's in its decline. You know, and nothing going to heal it. You know, call all Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. But the point being is that, you know, AI is taking over, and AI is going to be a savior to, you know, these people. You know, They're gonna look at AI for salvation, man. Esau know what he's doing. He's not stupid. And then the end goal is to chip the world, man. All right. He's gonna try to put a microchip, on everybody on the planet, but you will not get the elect, because Yahushua said it himself. He says, it's like I'm parking the car right now. Yahushua said it himself. He said, "My sheep hear my voice, and they know me, and no man shall pluck them out of my hand." Let's get that real quick. John chapter 10 and verse 27, and it says, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand." All right, you can't pluck the elect out of the hand of Yahushua. All right, because they've been given to him from the foundation of the world. So it don't matter, all right, the deception Esau put out there. It don't matter the persecution that he put out there, being that if you don't take this thing, we're gonna behead you. And the elect already got it set in them that we're not taking this. It says, verse 29, "My Father which gave them me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. I and my Father are one." So you can't pluck the elect out of the hand of Yahweh, Yahushua, man. All right, so use the greatest AI technology you got, Esau. That shit don't mean nothing to the power of the Lord, So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Makapadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to those who elect him in this word, truth and in sincerity. Until next time, I say shalom.